The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. Tell me.
Every time I use Riverside, I have to go in and change oh, your microphone is going through your headphones now. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever been on this side where you invite me. And then it's like, welcome to Riverside. Have a great time. And I'm like, you don't know who I'm going to talk to. I'm not going to have a great time.
Yeah. Oh, man, I've missed you.
How long has it been? 2 years?
I think it's been 2 years since we've done anything like collaboration, yeah.
I know we've been talking about it for 2 years.
Yeah.
About doing another one. But see, here was the thing. When I interviewed you the last time, I had done Eddie from the Voodoo Glow Skulls. I had done Crazy in the Brains, grade 2. And I was popping off, dude. We're going YouTube monetization. I was Bugatti level. And then I did you, and I've never recovered in 2 years. You're the algorithm killer, Trev.
I guess so. I guess I like that, though.
There's been a little dispute privately on who actually is conducting and doing this interview, because you need me and I need you, but we're both very toxic for each other. So it's kind of like our first marriages, right? And right. No offense, they're both lovely ladies. So I think what we do is we just joint collab. Like our audiences can just be like, what the crap is what? Why did I just waste the next 5 hours of my life listening to these two fools?
Yeah, I like that.
But I do got to say, in the 2 years, I'm glad to see that, you've upgraded your studio. It actually looks really cool now.
Thanks.
Prior to when I did it, it was like you were under a bridge when we did our last interview.
Sorta. It was, I was facing this wall before. Now
you had all the records.
Yeah, I got records.
There was a half-eaten burrito on the shelf.
There was no, my dog would not let me go with a half-eaten burrito in this house. Trust me.
People ask me all the time about this. They'll be like, did you come up with that? Why did you do that? Whatever. And I said, no, listen, I was checking. I wanted to see what paint colors would look like for my house. And I just let at the time, 6 and 8-year-old just go to town. And then I was like, I'll paint it over. And then I was like, no, it works. Okay. It's chaos like me, right?
Yeah.
I'm the model of chaos.
It definitely, I didn't know that was a specific room in your house.
Yeah, it's a wall. It's not like a green screen or anything.
I mean, as far as aesthetics go, I feel like that's more of the under the bridge.
Oh, without a doubt it is. Because, Trev, let's be real here. You know my love and my affinity for punk rock and hardcore music and all of that. But I don't really fit the image. Okay. I go to punk shows and they look at me and I go, look, this is you when you have a mortgage and 2 kids. All right. You can still be punk. The wall is oh no, I am punk. Look, see, I am punk rock. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, since we're doing a joint interview, I will start with the questions first.
All right.
First question. This actually came in from a listener of mine. When I sent it out on Instagram, and I asked people to have me, submit questions that I could ask you. So,
oh boy,
I have a list here. First question: why do you suck so bad?
Come on. Well, because I don't give in to the capitalists, wants and demands. I do what I do. You know.
Okay.
What I'm saying?
Second question.
Yeah.
Will you continue to support and max out your donations in 2028 for Donald Trump to have a third term?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't start that.
I'm just asking what the people want to know, man. All right.
Look, you see what's behind me, dude. I'm not the man in the high castle over in Brentwood like you. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, when you're looking at election night in Tennessee and you see the red and you see the one blue dot.
That's the wall behind you, right?
Exactly.
Right on. Dude,
Yeah,
I want to say, hold on, I got to cut you off. It was like a few months, it was probably like maybe 6 months we hadn't like really talked or anything. And like, I'm on Instagram and I'm doom scrolling because that's all there is in the fucking algorithm.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I see this clip from the Tennessee Holler, and it's you like telling some right-wing guy to like just shut the fuck up, you're boring. Like, I was like, what is this? So what was were you on another podcast or something, or?
Yeah, I was a guest with some of my buddies. They were doing a show called The Ranch Show. Shout out to MAGA Nate Miller and my boy John Clark. And I went on there, and I remember because that clip went like 2 million views on TikTok, a million on Instagram. And I was like, crap. Like I live in a state where people carry AR-15s in the grocery store for no reason.
Yeah.
And this thing has gone like massively viral. Yeah, I think it was, man, I can't even remember what that clip was, but yeah, I was basically just contradicting. I mean, look, when it comes to all politics, I think, right now the left is very like protect the children kind of thing because they have a right to, because of the files and stuff. But, I think there's hypocrisy on both sides. I think Democrats are, it's like how with Republicans, when Republicans are in power, the Democrats always care about the national debt. And then when they're in power, Republicans care about it. But when they're in power, when they're not in power, they don't. And so I just, I kind of like to think that I'm apolitical at times, but I cannot tolerate the simping and the cuckoldness of the MAGA people these days. So when I was on that show, just listening to them like twist into pretzels about how it was okay for, like, oh, we love babies, protect the babies, but we don't care if a baby gets taken away from their mom or whatever.
Right.
And I just called them out in my charming way. And then I wake up one morning and there's like 2 million of the people, thanks to the Tennessee Holler, who now know my face. And like, I had people like sending messages to my account because I guess they figured out who I was. And, people were like attacking my Asian children and, telling me to do something to myself that was anatomically impossible. All because of that clip. So I was like, sweet, I got to go grocery shopping later. This is going to be outstanding, know?
Yeah.
So, and then I just kind of hid for about 6 months, and now I'm here with you.
Good.
So
good.
now there'll be different type of hate,
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I can't fucking stand either side, right? And like whenever one of the sides is in power, people look at me and they think I'm the other side, and I'm like, no, I'm not that. Like I just fucking like, and look, I am 45 years old. I'm almost 45 years old. And like, this is the worst I've ever seen in this fucking country.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, if people think it's good, like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like,
we have gotten to the point where Republicans are upset because a Puerto Rican is playing a halftime show because they don't understand that he's an American.
Right. Yeah.
Then on the flip side, we have Republicans propping up Kid Rock as family-friendly entertainment.
Yeah.
Not to mention what's going on in Minneapolis and all this stuff. So it's like, I think we've lost our minds, completely. And don't even get me started on people like Chuck Schumer as a Democrat, because that guy's about as useful as like a bucket of water in the ocean. But I will say this, I do think that it's gotten incredibly toxic. I think that, like I have friends who are like ultra MAGA. And then we have friends, collectively who are, they could be borderline communist at this moment in time. And I think that you got to stay open to be able to talk to people and have debates and be like, look, this is insanity what's going on. And not just be like, well, when the Republicans in power, I'm going to blindly support the Republican, just like I'm going to blindly support. Would I have taken Joe Biden over Donald Trump? Yes. Did Joe Biden do a lot of good things? Yes. Did he do a lot of bad things? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. We all saw the debate, and it was fun. Okay, you want to talk about, it was funny when the presidential debate happened a couple of years ago between him and Trump in 2024. And Biden looked like he had no clue what was going on because he didn't have a clue what was going on. Yeah. And to watch some of these Democrats go out there and just be like, sharp as a tack. It's like, don't lie to me. Like,
right. Yeah. Yeah. And like, I don't know, like when they pulled the old switcheroo on us, right. In the fucking 11th hour, like they were pulling a Trump move, right.
Right.
Thinking it was going to work, and it backfired in their faces. Like,
oh my gosh. Could you pick a worse candidate than Kamala Harris for this time in our life?
Yeah. I just think it's all fucked. It needs to come down. Everything. So
I was go for it.
Trump coming back into office, like it's ridiculous. And this isn't. We're not going to be on politics the whole time. We're going to get by this, right? You and I. We're gonna get past this.
We're being bipartisan. We're attacking both sides.
Yeah. But like the whole thing, like if you didn't think because he lost that one election, if you didn't think he wasn't going to come back into power and then just destroy all the toys because he was having a temper tantrum, and then he appoints the most cartoon villains as like his like people. It just blows my fucking mind. And there's a lot of people who voted for him that are like, shit, what the fuck did I do? Yep. And that's cool. Let's learn from that, right? I don't think anybody should be shaming someone who's fucking been like, all right, I fucked up. You know, like let them learn from their mistake, but like you don't need to fucking throw it in their face because then they're just gonna be on merit. They're just gonna stick with it, right?
They're getting a bigger MAGA flag at that moment in time.
Yeah. So I just don't like, it's fucking awful out there. And like, I'm someone who like, I don't know what to do to help.
Yeah, right.
Like if I go to a protest and I see something I don't like, I intervene.
Right.
And like that's not going to help anybody, right? If I just fucking beat the dog shit out of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or if I get shot, like that's not helping anybody. That's not helping me. You know what I mean? So I don't know what to do at this point cuz like and like I do this podcast and I keep it positive. We talk about mental health a lot. We do talk about politics a little bit with guests, but like I try to keep it in like a positive community sense because to me, community is everything. And I think the big thing I like to show people is like, you're not alone out there. And like, look, these artists are you know what I mean? And like, and like, even if they have hot takes or whatever, like you're allowed to have your own opinion on things. Like, that's what I always thought this country was based on.
I think it's sad that I have seen both sides, that if you don't agree with me, you're the enemy. Now, obviously it's got ramped up in recent time. But I think it's that old adage that we heard is like, I might not agree with you, but I will defend to the death your right to have that opinion.
Yeah.
I think we are in a place right now, where it's just too polarized. And, it's like the protest. Would I like to go protest and take my kids out to protest? Absolutely. But I'm too lazy, dude. Like, I'm just like, wait, I got to go on a Saturday into downtown Nashville and pay for parking? Like,
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather vote and deal with an ICE agent at the door, because I'm lazy, and maybe I'm a bad American for that. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's just I don't know. Like, so there's a big activist from out here, and he's also a comedian, and like he's been arrested by ICE like 3 times now. But he's been traveling the country, going to all these things, right? And it's I like, it's cool to see him out there, and it's cool for him to be like, they arrested me, they detained me, but I'm back here, and I'm still giving them the finger. That's really cool, but like at the same time, I'm like how much change will that bring? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's just tough, man. I mean, and again, I am all for him doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like if someone's like, well, if you're not out there in the streets, then you're being compliant. Like that's not true. Like
no.
Like people are fucking scared. You know?
Yeah.
Like people are scared. People are afraid they're gonna get shot. People are afraid to die. People are afraid they're gonna lose their loved ones forever. Like you can't fault somebody for that.
Well, I think just the pure hypocrisy, regardless of what you think of Donald Trump or whatever, we should all have a moral compass that what we've seen ICE do is not great. Okay? Like, this is not great. And I would personally right now, and this is probably what they want, I would personally be afraid to go up against ICE, regardless if you're white or black or whatever, because, I mean, these are some of the fattest dudes that we've hired to be border agents in Kansas, of all places, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just think that, I think it'll be interesting if the Democrats do take power again, what they're going to do. Are they arresting everybody?
Yeah.
You think it's crazy now. Wait till they start rounding people up. The left starts rounding people up from the right. Like that's when you're going to need a show like the Struggling Artist Podcast to detach from the world that's around us at this moment in time. And join the record club too.
Yeah, join the record club. Please join the record club.
You like that?
That was
all
good.
Proceeds from the record club do not go to ICE. They go to Trev's ice in his drink.
No. I wish. I don't turn a profit, dude. That's a self-working thing, right?
Right.
If when I do my taxes and they say, all right, you owe like $5,000 because of this record club, then the record club ends. It runs itself, basically. You know what I mean? Like I'm not losing money. Once I lose money, then it's like I can't do that anymore. Because like I try to keep the price point as low as possible. So like it's at $25 now for the record, which is like that's not. It was 20 up until like the beginning of I think 2025. It was $20. So. It's just not. It wasn't feasible anymore at $20. And I'm like, I want to keep it going, so I gotta have to raise the price. And everyone was cool. All the members were cool about it. They're like, no, we get it, So, yeah, but yeah. So there's no ice in here unless I put it outside in the fucking snow that we have right now. So
you got snow there?
Oh yeah, I was out there snow blowing earlier. It's
Tennessee yesterday. It was 61 degrees during the day and 33 at night. So, you don't know how to dress for malaria, because 1 minute it's warm, 1 minute it's cold. But, so let me ask you, with your show, in 2025, you interviewed a ton of people. I'm different than you when it comes to interviews. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I don't want to do it. And then I just kind of like disappear for 3 months and go to the softball field or whatever. Yeah. But you've been very consistent. Who has been your favorite artist this past year that you interviewed?
You're talking 2025?
Yeah, well, not 2026. We're 1 month in.
Yeah.
Come on, Trev.
I don't know, man. It's hard to pick because, like, a lot of these people that I love music, and I love like people. I love hearing people's stories and I'm a storyteller, so being able to hear that and stuff and like there's been some really good episodes, right? And I want to say one of the ones that I was really excited that I got to book the person, And when we had it was like the day before we did the recording, I dug in a little bit deeper, and I'm like, man, this guy's giving TED Talks to like thousands of people. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, I'm just some fucking schmuck.
All right.
And so we had the conversation we did with the recording, and he was awesome. He was very vulnerable. You know what I mean? And like really opened up about things, and and it was so that I think that was with Greg Deal of Dead Pioneers.
Okay.
Out of Denver. I think they're out of Denver. They're out of Colorado. And just being able to talk with him about, his indigenous heritage and how when he gives these TED Talks and stuff like that, and his perspective on a lot of things, and how a lot of it, he never planned to do any of it. He goes, the running joke in the house is between him and his wife is he's the biggest fraud because he didn't everything just happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he just ran with it or whatever. So, and he's an awesome artist. He does acrylic paint art and stuff, and so it was just that one sticks out from last year, because leading into it, I was really excited, and then I got super nervous, and then he was such a down to earth person,
I think it's funny that you mentioned the whole fraud thing and all this, because I feel that way. I'm sure you did. You probably 25 years ago didn't go, I'm going to do in 2026 is start interviewing bands.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get put in this situation and you're like, okay, what do I do with this now? And now granted, we're not speaking in front of 10,000 people or whatever, but I've been thinking 2014 when I started the Mattrix Minute, I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to do this for 3 artists. And then it you do have, as you grow, and I'm sure you've experienced this, as you grow, you're kind of you almost have imposter syndrome. You're I don't belong here. I don't belong people watching my videos or doing anything like that. I do want to ask you, this will be a good clip for you. I do this thing now called the Music Business Newsletter.
Yeah. I want to talk about that. Yeah.
Where I answer questions from artists who listen to the Mattrix Minute or stalk my Instagram and don't want to say hi. Thinking of a couple of people right now, but they're not gonna get any strays. And I had somebody send an email about Bandcamp to me.
Oh yeah, that was a clip. I saw that clip because I think you made a quick 20, 30 second clip out of it, or was it the whole? Yeah, and I saw that clip, dude, and I was furthest from the truth, man. So
let's talk about Bandcamp right now.
What's that?
You want to hear my perspective on Bandcamp? It sucks.
Why?
Because most of the Bandcamp bros, as I like to call them, are the people who don't want to put their music on Spotify because, Spotify doesn't pay enough. And so now buy my random single that should be accessible. Music should be accessible to the masses, but now we're limiting it to Bandcamp with their broken down website. Okay? And the consumer in 2025, 2026 does not think that they need to buy music. Yeah, there's a small fraction of people who will join the record club or they'll still buy CDs or whatever. But the masses is I want it on my phone and I want it now. I don't want to do extra steps.
Right. All right.
The Bandcamp bros who are the purist, and I said this to you 2 years ago, and I'll say it again. There is absolutely nothing romantic about being broke. I have been broke before. There is nothing romantic about being broke. There's nothing romantic about being overdrafted in your bank account. There's nothing romantic about that. These Bandcamp bros who are Spotify is bad, are the same ones complaining that they can't make any money in the music industry. So it's hey, if you stop telling your fans how bad Spotify or Apple Music is, sending them to this obscure website that is nothing more than a circle jerk for other artists with each other.
No.
Maybe you could make more money. And then I wouldn't have to hear about how broke you are and how the music industry hates you.
All right. So, I will say this, what I appreciate about your show is that you do take it like you, because a lot of people who write into you, like they want to know about the business side of music, right? The industry side of it, and you're a very open book about that. But you also dig into like the more creative artist side too,
right?
And I do it, and I appreciate that about you. Now, my thing with Bandcamp is this: first off, those bank accounts aren't going up by having Spotify. Okay, so if an artist feels like they're taking a stance in whatever political climate that is to pull their stuff, I don't listen to Spotify. You know why I don't listen to Spotify? Because I think the sound quality sucks.
Where do you listen to music at?
I listen to Bandcamp.
Shut up.
I do. I have in my collection, right? These are titles in my collection. I have 910 titles in my collection.
And you're paying for each one of those on Bandcamp. So,
yes. There's some that are free. I don't think they go into your collection though. You can only download the free ones. But they go from, okay, this is a single and it costs $1 to this is an album, pay what you can. It is I think, as far as it's the lesser evil of all the streamers, but Epic Games has their fucking problems too. You know what I mean? That's who owns Bandcamp, by the way. So I don't think it's that obscure of a website. I mean, it's been around since 2008.
And they haven't updated it since then.
Do they have to?
I mean, dude, the operating system is pretty bad.
I think the app is easy to navigate. You can stream music, but after a while they say, hey, maybe it's time to, purchase this, right? So I'm also someone who listens to full albums, and I can't stand when Spotify or Apple Music, like an album stops and they just keep playing some random shit, because then I'm like, man, how many songs are on this album? And I know for the last hour I wasn't listening to that album anymore. You know what I mean? So I think now, in my personal opinion, I'm not going to fault anybody for using any streaming service to put up their music. Do I think Spotify, they're like pieces of shit? Yeah, of course I do.
Oh yeah, no, they're terrible owners
on their fucking free versions. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm not going to fault an artist, because that's how they're going to. I think you got to be everywhere, and I think Bandcamp is a good way for your listeners to support you directly if they can't go to a show.
Now, I do want to. I'm going to pull this up on your screen here.
Sure.
This is why I don't like Bandcamp. This is who they think Matthew Ricks is. This beautiful. I mean, look. It's not me because I'm not that good looking, and he looks very in love.
Scroll down. What album is that?
He's just a fan, actually. He's just a fan. Oh no, wait.
The Mackinaws.
Mackinaws. He's got 5 followers. The Mackinaws are one of them.
Okay.
He's got more followers than I do. Yeah. But I just want to let Bandcamp know right now that that's not me.
Right.
Okay?
How come your Bandcamp looks different than mine? You've got this 1990s like laser thing
dude,
going on.
I'm telling you.
I mean, I know Tennessee's a little behind the times, but I didn't think they still had like Netscape Navigator.
I mean, yeah, dude, this is the Red State version of Bandcamp. So wait, yours doesn't look like this?
Yeah, it does now, but I didn't have that blue. Hold on, let me go to the homepage there. Yeah, mine looks totally different. How do I? Let me. All right, get out of yours. Oh yeah, there you are. That's where I have all that.
Fans have paid artists $1.66 billion using Bandcamp. Yeah, but it took 35 years.
Well, guess what? It's going to take 100 years to do that through Spotify.
I mean, okay, so, and I don't like, with Bandcamp when it comes to the artist, I don't like this purist mindset that, because I'm on Bandcamp, I'm not as stupid as everybody else to be on Apple Music.
So, Matt, I want to compare that to something right now, right?
Go for it.
Not all Republicans are the insufferable MAGA, right?
Absolutely not.
Not all Democrats are the insufferable, like whatever they're called. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
So you are basing an entire community off of a few. Now, is that not the problem in America right now?
But so here's the thing. So this was 5 years ago. I went to go do a speaking event in Montgomery, Alabama.
Oof.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I was talking to my friends in the industry in LA. I said, yeah, I said I just came back from Montgomery, Alabama. I had to do a conference out there speaking on the music industry. And they're like, Alabama? What was that like? And I'm like, microphone, stage, people.
Right.
Oh, wait. I know what you want. Well, I was picked up by the Grand Wizard of the KKK from the airports. Yeah. And I was riding on the back of a pickup truck, and they served me fried chicken. What are you talking about, you stupid, pretentious prick? Like, right. It's a regular thing. So I can see what you're saying.
Don't do that with Bandcamp.
I can see what you're saying about Bandcamp. So they don't even have an app, do they?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Yes, they do. So they in their app. So Apple had like a block on their app from you buying digital music through the app. You would have to go on the website to buy it.
Yeah, because it's probably infested with Russian viruses. But anyways, continue. But
now you can actually. So you would still able to buy, like if I was to buy a record, I could do it through the app that was on Apple, and I could and I would get the digital copy that way too. But now you can buy digital through that Bandcamp app as well. I think the Android app was a little bit more free because that's Apple versus Google or whatever Android is or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, everything's got to get approved by Tim Cook with Apple. So wait, how many songs do you say you had on Bandcamp?
No, not songs, titles. So this is like albums or singles. I have an audio book on here.
Who's putting their audio book on Bandcamp? It's like how to make grilled cheese.
No, it's Micah Schnabel, a fantastic musician, by the way. I think you would enjoy his stuff. I have 910 titles in my collection.
So hold up here. Let me pull my phone out.
Yeah.
So let's say out of your 910 titles, I'm a math genius, 910, let's put the average price at $5.
Yeah.
That's $5,000 you've spent. Do you know what kind of toupee you could buy for $5,000?
I don't want a toupee.
You look sexy with one.
I used to have long hair.
Did you? Okay, so when you were balding, did you keep the hair long on the sides and turn it into a ponytail with your bald head?
No.
You didn't do that? The old Paul Heyman?
I was doing like a not quite a high and tight, but like a short haircut for a long time, and I was sitting at a bar during a pub crawl, and I was looking at the mirror behind the bar at myself, and I said, "It's time. It's got to go."
I am so glad that I got tons of flaws and I got tons of discrepancies in my life and ugliness. I'm so glad that one of them is not baldness, because I have shaved my head before. I mean, I went through cancer. I had to shave my head. It's not pretty, dude. Like, you rock the bald head. Like, you were designed to have a bald head. Like, you look amazing. I didn't even have cancer at the time I shaved my head, and people were coming up to me and telling me to live strong. Okay. Because I'm that pale.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look good. And then I went through a skinhead era. I was in my Lars Fredrickson era, where I was wearing like the button down dress shirts, short sleeve with the sweater vest. And I had like the high and tight, like crop look, like I was in grade 2. And that was even more awkward than when I shaved my head. But you rock it, my man.
Thanks, man. When I first started doing it, I looked like Uncle Fester. It took a little while to grow into it, so.
I think the important thing is you got to grow facial hair with it. Because if you don't, you do like you are battling. You're battling cancer. Yeah. This, I've been working on this for about 7 months. Okay?
Yeah, you know what? You might be the only person I'm going to give a pass to with a mustache.
Does it work for me?
Yeah, it does.
Then why am I still single, Trev? Like, I mean,
I don't know.
I walk up to the ladies at the gas station and I say, "Hey, I'm single," and they say, "We can tell."
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. No.
This interview is riveting.
I love it. So let me ask you something. When did you start doing this Music Biz newsletter?
I have been talking with my team. Okay, everything I do, whether it be the Mattrix Minute, interviewing artists, whatever, it's always like, we need to do this. And then I don't do anything about it. Like, I'm just like, okay, let's get the logo, let's get this, let's do it. And then I don't do anything. I don't do anything. Honestly, I get in my head where I'm like, who's going to want to hear? Because I was getting these messages in, and I've been getting them in for years. And I'm like, I would try to respond to everybody. And then what happens is that if you send an email and I would take time to respond, I send it back to you. Then you want to do a follow-up. And this became like
a conversation.
Yeah. But you're doing it with like multiple people. And then you're doing it on Instagram DMs or whatever. So I actually, 2 years prior, probably around the time that we did our interview, I was sitting at a restaurant in Franklin, Tennessee called Jonathan's Sports Bar. And my buddy was just like, why aren't you doing this? And he's like really challenging me. And I'm like, that's it. So it's like Friday night at like 11 o'clock. Like I text everyone. I'm like, we're going to do this now. And I came to the studio and I recorded the introduction video. It got posted on YouTube. And then I did nothing for 16 more months. Like it was like, I'm here. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
And then I got an email in from an artist. He was a Christian artist and he wanted to make parodies of worship. He wanted to do like a Rancid parody, but turn it into a worship song for church. And it wasn't Rancid, but he was just like picking other artists. And I thought that email was so asinine that I was like, I'm not even going to bother responding to this fool privately. Like I'm going to do it publicly because
that was the first one.
That was the first one because it was so stupid. So the Music Business Newsletter actually finally got off the ground, not because of like this need. It was like rage of like, how stupid are you to want to do something like this?
Right.
Then then we're getting, get 300-400 views. And I'm like, and then the emails kept coming in. And then you get the emails from like the 14-year-old girl whose mom died and she wants to know how to release a song to honor her mom. And you're just like, okay. Then you got the guy, we had the band who they've played a 75-person show in Houston, Texas, and they want to know how they can level up to an arena. From 75 people to 40,000.
I saw that one. Yeah. You don't, it's not overnight.
So it's been like this onslaught. And the funny thing is like, I could literally make it the Jerry Springer show where it's like, it's just the crazy emails after crazy emails after crazy emails. But I'm like, well, that's entertainment. It's not really education. And you know me, like everything I want to do is like educate people.
Yeah.
So you gotta get so many of these crazy emails that you're like, all right, let's sprinkle that one in as well. The guy who the band got a record deal and then they got dropped because they got drunk and cussed out the record label president when they just got, and you just got these stories and you're like, I mean, it's entertainment, yes, but it's also a cautionary tale that there's so many artists out there who are just so delusional about what it is to be an artist. I mean, I read an email one time from a guy who was like 45 years old and he bragged how he had $500,000 in gear and he can't find a band. And he said that he was the best musician in his town.
I think I remember that one too.
I'm like, you're just like, okay, you're a fool. One, why do you have so much money in this gear if you're not even playing out?
Yeah.
Angus Young probably doesn't even have that much money in gear, and you got some fool in, Tupelo, Mississippi who's got it. But then you also get the emails then of the people who are like, hey, how do I interview artists? Which I think is funny. It's like, I could have made a 30-second video with that one. It's like, how do you interview artists? DM a bunch of people and expect nobody's going to respond. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's true. I watched that one too. I watched a lot of these, like, especially like, so when I'm editing podcasts, and I have YouTube up already, like you come up in the feed for me and I'm like, oh, let's see what Matt's got. And you've had some really good ones. And like, I saw one today and I haven't watched it yet. And I can't wait to, is audience versus community.
Yeah.
I want to, because like I kind of looked at, like, I went on your website. I kind of looked at, like, the little show notes for it. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to check that one out. Because like I said, like, you have a very realistic of what, like, it is on the business side of music, but you also have that love for art, and I like how you blend them together. You know,
I think a lot of times in the music industry, people try to make things more complicated than it needs to be. And so my thing has always been, I want to strip it down to its most purest, rawest form, and make it accessible, that if you are the 14-year-old girl who's just getting started, or the 45-year-old dude, that, you know, it can be accessible to you. And the problem is that, you know, because I've had like emails that are like, well, what try to scam? I'm trying to figure out where your scam is here, or what you're doing. Because I don't have programs. I'm not selling you like coaching. So like, oh, you can book me for a coaching. Like, I don't do any of that stuff. Like, I put this out here, and if it clicks, it doesn't. If it doesn't click, I just go on to the next one. Now what's funny is, like, people are like, are you still doing the newsletter? And I go, yeah, but I didn't have power for a week because we got hit with an ice storm and I couldn't record any freaking videos.
Oh, no shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so I like, you know, and my whole thing with everything is, you know, like with the Mattrix Minute in the past, we've had record labels and production companies that have wanted to buy it, and like I'd be an employee of theirs. And I never wanted to do that because if I want to record it, I'm going to record it. If I don't, I don't. I don't want this to be a job or an obligation. I also don't want somebody coming in and being like, these emails have done really well, these topics, let's keep doing those, because that's not pure and that's not really helping people.
Right. And that's what's ruined the music industry.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Radio and like, you know, the regular music industry. I feel like that's like, this is what does well. We're going to keep doing that one thing. I mean, like, that's why rock radio is just about dead. You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, dude,
K-Love keeps buying all the rock stations because they're on a crusade. They're on a Christian crusade of like, we don't have to pay taxes, so we're just going to spend all the tax money on buying rock stations and shutting them down.
We had a rock station here in Nashville, and it was like the cool rock station. Like, I'm telling you, the Drowns could get played on this station in town, right? They played everybody, but you would also get the Foo Fighters or whatever. And then one day you turn it on, and it's like positive hits for the whole family, K-Love.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, what? You're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually have a love-hate with K-Love. Because, you know, I do a lot of work in the Christian music industry.
I know
too.
you do. Yeah. I want to.
I actually had a meet. Okay. So you want to hear my two K-Love stories?
Sure.
Okay. So I took an artist over there that was signed to a label. We took him over there for a meeting. This was in the summer, and we're sitting in this meeting. And there's this beautiful woman there in the meeting who works for K-Love. And I'm being my charming self. Well, we went out that night on a date. The date went horribly awry, dude. It was just like, from the minute start, it was just a disaster across the board. And I looked at her and I was like, I don't want to continue this night with you. Like, I'm like you were a lot cooler in the office. So it's been awkward ever since. Every time I got to go to K-Love now and see her, I'm like, hey, how are you? And then my second one is after what happened with Charlie Kirk, K-Love contacted an artist I was working with to let them know that they were considering pulling their music because they did not grieve Charlie Kirk's murder enough.
Jesus Christ.
Those are my two K-Love stories right there for you. I mean, now granted, maybe the girl that I went on a date with was like, go get his artist, sabotage him. They didn't do enough for Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
But it's funny you mentioned K-Love, man.
Yeah, well, that's true, though. They bought like all the rock stations out here.
And they're buying everybody.
Oh, man, it's crazy.
With that tax deductible charitable contribution.
So you still do interviews, too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you calling it? Is it all the same thing? You know, or so like when I started the Struggling Artist, it was I was having these conversations, interviews, whatever you want to call it, and then one day I was like, I want to do these like episodes where I talk about like it's just me and I'm talking about mental health And I didn't do one until my dog Miss Piggy passed away, because I was just like, I needed to get something out, because it was killing me. She was like a service dog for me, and it was just like awful. So I would do these from time to time, and then I started doing these other kind of style of podcast episodes. And then I decided, like, well, I'm just going to call them something else, but it's going to be on the same feed, right? So and then I had one that was like MTV News. It was called The Underground Noise. And then I was like, this is a lot of work.
Right.
So I stopped that one. And then someone asked me, my friend Arya Rad of Coffin Salesman, he's like, hey, do you need help with that? Because that was really good. I was like, do you want to do it? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, it's all yours. Right. So then we had the Record Club recap, and me and Chris, who lives up in Buffalo, who's in the Record Club, and he's like a producer of the podcast, whatever. We would do this, and I'm like, why am I reviewing the albums I'm sending? So I kind of stopped that too, and then I was like, you know what? I grabbed 2 members of the Record Club. I said, you guys want a podcast? And they're like, yeah. So now they do the Record Club recap. It's great. So basically, the Struggling Artist has become like a network almost, right? So like with what you're doing, are you keeping it all like the same name, or do you have different, like if you're doing an interview, is it called something different than the Music Biz newsletter?
Okay, so when I started doing interviews back in 2023, I called it the Music Business Show, because I really just wanted to talk to artists, let them pitch their album or their tour, whatever. But I really wanted to get into them talking about the music business, because I really just wanted to serve artists and give them as much information as possible. I quickly realized that a lot of the artists I was talking to, they had no knowledge of the music industry. I mean, like, they were just like, yeah, we signed a deal. Like, we don't, we tour 300 days a year or whatever. Or they can't legally talk about it or whatever. So then this year I changed it to Music Conversations with Matthew Ricks. I sold out, because I was like, I'm advertising it as like, we're going behind the scenes, we're pulling the curtain back, but these artists aren't doing that. Either they can't, or they won't, or they don't know how. So on my YouTube feed, I just have it. Yeah, I mean, I put everything on the same channel for monetizing purposes. And so then I just put it in different playlists. So the tripwire that I do have is like, at the time of recording, I just put an interview out with the Grammy award-winning Christian rapper KB. I'm going to get a ton of traffic for KB, but it's going to be Christian hip hop fans. Well, if they subscribe to the channel, then tomorrow they're going to get fed on the feed some dopey artist who's trying to figure out how to make $1 million, and then they'll unsubscribe. So I'm kind of in this weird balancing act right now, and then I've tried to help other podcast shows. Like, I was like, I will mentor you. Like, let's help your show. Let's help like with your interviews, because I truly believe everybody in the world should have a podcast. Everybody. Because I think everybody's got a story, or they got something they're passionate about that they can share and find their niche, their niche audience. I have found at times that doing the Music Business newsletter, reading these emails, recording the Mattrix Minute has been almost therapeutic in a way. Like, I can detach from whatever's going on in my life or whatever drama's going on, and just like rage out on some stupid email for 20 minutes. And I feel better about it. And I think that everybody needs that. You talk a lot. And one of the things, Trev, I love so much about you is, one, you are one of the kindest souls I've ever met in this entire game.
Thank you.
Okay. Like, you are such a joy and a pleasure. I wish you lived in Nashville, because we could be like neighbors. We could be like besties. I ain't moving up there. It's too cold.
I was in Lawrence County for like 2 years.
Dude, check this out. Last year, my daughter was on a travel softball team. The team practiced in Shelbyville.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That place is a dump. No offense to Shelbyville, but...
Shout out Jonathan and Luke Rodriguez. Shelbyville.
I remember pulling up to the practice field the first time, and I'm like, where are we? And my daughter's Asian, right? She's adopted. And I told her, I said, I looked at her and I said, Hope, these people probably have never seen an Asian before. And if you're a jerk to them, they're going to always remember that all Asians are jerks. So be extra nice when you go to this tryout, okay? Because these are some meth heads here. No offense to Shelbyville. Anyways, I digress. You're one of the kindest people I've met. You've always been such a joy. You're such a, I just love your spirit. I love your attitude. But the one thing I do really appreciate about you that I wish I did, but it's not my lane, is your commitment to talking about mental health, your own mental health struggles. Because I think that, and that's why I say everybody should have a podcast, is because what you're passionate about, I'm not, it's not my thing. Okay. You are very open about your struggles. And then I listen to you and I can relate, but I would never have the guts to, or be able to frame it the way you do. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank you for that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It means a lot to hear. Cause I was someone that I struggled with so long, and I didn't do therapy. I didn't do any of that stuff. And then 10 years of therapy later, I can talk about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but and it's not, I don't encourage anybody, don't talk about it if you don't feel comfortable talking about it. Right. So, and it always, whenever it comes up now, it's always been a natural progression in a conversation with somebody, whether it's someone talking about, when they struggled with drugs and alcohol, or this or that, and you know what I mean. So and I never push for that. That's the best part. But I always say, if whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about it.
I am massively single, massively, and so the algorithm always is pushing out. I don't know how they know. Maybe because they're it's Friday night at 7:30 and he's scrolling TikTok, But the algorithm always pushes out to me these really bad dating advice from either the woman or the man giving dating advice. And it's horrible stuff, And I'm correlating this to mental health. I think the problem is that sometimes you got beautiful women on these TikTok, and they're not the OF models or anything. They're just gorgeous women who are I can't find a good guy. And they have 3 million views. Well, you don't need a guy because you're getting all of this attention complaining about it. I think the problem that's happened with not all, but some of the mental health, people talking about their struggle, is the struggle becomes such a dopamine hit that they get so many views and so much attention that they don't even want to get better.
Right.
They're just they're getting the attention they want. And then they get propped up because it's, they got this big audience, but they're still not healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people with 2-3 million views talking about mental health. And then you see the comment, someone's like, are you in therapy? And they say no. Right. But it's okay, well, if you're in a bad place mentally, getting on the internet and having something go massively viral is not good for your mental health.
Right.
Because you're going to have 50% of the comments telling you suck at everything in life.
Mm-hmm.
I know firsthand. Why do you look so gay? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And so, but I appreciate your courage and your durability with you talking about mental health and you talking about your own struggles, but not just your struggles, not that just everything sucks, but you do talk about your outlets. And I think one of the things that we bonded over initially was that music has always been an escape for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I wish that, and it's gotten way better than 10 years ago, that artists are now realizing the role that they're playing in other people being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're writing the soundtrack for somebody's life when they're in a really dark place at that moment.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I love about music, because, I can listen to some on Spotify, not Bandcamp, but if I'm depending on my mood, I can listen to something that's going to build me up, or I can listen to something that's going to make me rage out. Let's go. Come on, let's go fight the system right now, And shout out to all the European death metal. You got me through my divorce 7 years ago.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I was just talking about a Estonian death metal band that I found the other day on Bandcamp. On Bandcamp.
Oh, yeah. That's the only place they are.
No.
Dude. European death metal is some of the worst music out there. And absolutely. It's tied with K-pop, okay? It's so bad. And then yet in my Spotify, I have different European death metal bands saved. And then when it pops up, I'm like, why do I like this so much? Like, it's just horrible.
There's some good ones out there, dude. There's some good ones out there.
You get into like 80s European death metal, it's pretty bad, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. I mean, this guy made this in his mom's basement, you know, doing Hail Satans, basically, you know?
Speaking of moms, I thought my mom was going to catch a flight out there so you could catch some hands, dude. I was like, so my mom, Big Sue, shout out my mom, Big Sue. Big Sue just retired this past summer. So she's just like living life, babysitting her grandkids, you know what I mean? And she has all the time in the world to go on like TikTok and shit like that. And like, so she just happened to like, I don't know. I shared your clip about like coming on the podcast or we're going to do something or whatever. And I don't know, something about methadone clinics and scars.
Well, that's how I met you initially is I picked you up. I saw you at the methadone clinic and I saw you needed a ride. It was raining outside.
So my mom still thinks I'm this like, you know, 6-year-old boy. Right. So she's like, is this real? And I was like, no, Ma, it's a joke. Calm down. So my mom was like, was a tough broad back in her day.
Right.
Like, and I've heard my aunt would tell stories about like, you know, she beat someone up when they were younger and whatever. And when I got in trouble one time in high school, pretty big trouble. We'll leave it at that. And she was driving me to where my father works, so I could tell him I got in trouble. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
And she the whole time like, you need to calm down. You can't be so angry. You can't be fighting people all the time. Blah 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 blah. You know. So we get there. He worked at a garage, and we were walking up to the garage, and there was this guy who worked there. He was like, you know, 7'13", you know, like this tall, lanky dude. And he goes, hi, Sue. And he like ran away. And I go, what the fuck was that? And she was like, shut up. I'm like, all right. So I'm in there and I'm getting yelled at by my father now. Meanwhile, the kid working at like the gas station part was somebody I had a problem with. And like, my mother was in there like yelling at him. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? You know? So we go to leave. I said, what was up with you and Johnny? That was like the tall guy.
Right.
And she's like, when we were kids, I knocked him out.
Shut up.
And I was like, you can't sit here and tell me. She's like, I can tell you whatever I want. You're my son. I'm like, fine.
Dang.
Yeah, she was a tough one back in the day. So I saved you from that. She was about to catch a flight, man.
I was about to catch a stray there. Yeah, I mean, dude, like I mean, you know, I'm 44, you're 44. I turned 45 in May. And I'm the baby in the family. And back in the day when I was married, my ex-wife would say, if you died before your mom's going to crawl in the casket with you. Like it protects you while you're dead.
Yeah.
And I got, you know, my mom's like a little, I mean, I'm 6'5". My mom's like a little like 4'9", you know, Polish woman. And I always say my mom calls me when she should text me. Like she'll call me and be like, do the kids like blueberry muffins? And I'm like, yes. Okay. But then she'll text me when she should call me.
Yeah.
So you'll get a text and it'll be like, hey, your Aunt Barbara's not doing well right now. And I'm like, oh no, that's bad. And then she keeps like sending in text messages like the medical diagnosis. And I'm like, this is a phone call, Mom. Like it's, you know, and my mom is always one of those people. Like when I was like 14 years old and I was trying to like freak the crap out of my parents, I would like dye my hair different colors. But it was always Saturday night when they went to bed. So Sunday morning when you go to church, I would have orange hair or yellow hair or red hair.
Yeah.
And my parents were one of these people that like privately, they would criticize me for it. What are you doing? But then publicly, my mom is still like this today. If you were to say anything negative about me, I remember when I was 14 years old, like people would make fun of me. Like adults would make fun of my hair. Even though my mom hated it, she would get in their face about it because you don't talk about my kid.
Right.
So I can understand if your mom's anything like that, when she's hearing that, you know, some dude on the internet, some handsome guy on the internet is saying that your son is a buster.
Yeah, that was funny.
I can understand where mom's going to be a little angry with the whole situation. You
but
know,
think about it, Mom. Would I share that?
Okay, and that's the thing is like my mom's done that before. Like, you know, like I don't know, like I like to heckle some of my friends at times, and they'll like post like a vacation photo, and I'll just leave a comment under it being like, "Shave your eyebrows," and they're just like, "What does that got to do with my family vacation to Florida or whatever?" But just like anything in life, when you throw it out there, you can't be offended when it comes back your way, right? And you know, I got to, you know me, dude. Like I don't take a lot of this stuff personal. And I'll share it. And my mom will be like, well, what's wrong with you and John Clark? I thought you guys were good friends. Why did he just tell you? You know, and I'm like, he didn't. I mean, guys are stupid like that, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome, though.
But I do want to talk about, here. I've been trying to send this to my email. Oh, did it work? Hold on. Oh, Trev, I'm about to bury you right now. Hold on.
Oh,
I've been trying to. Oh, it's here.
This is riveting.
Who's editing this video? Your guys or my
guys?
guys?
I'm gonna have to now.
Oh, good luck, dude. This thing, we're going to record for 3 hours, and by the time it gets on YouTube, it's going to be like 12 minutes after everything. I need it to propagate. Hold on, because I'm about to bury you here. All right.
All right. What do you got?
Oh, I bring receipts, my friend.
Receipts for what?
I bring receipts. Okay. While this is propagating, what else you want to talk about? I need a few minutes for it to.
All right. Yeah. All right. So, what are you managing artists now or no?
No, I just consult.
You just consult with them and like, is it just Christian artists or no?
No. I'll do any. I mean, if I like the band, like the people, I'll do consulting. I get hired a lot by labels.
Mm-hmm.
I had I mean, how deep you want to go with this whole thing, Trev? How deep do you want to go?
No, tell me. I got, you know.
So I was doing stuff with some punk bands. I was doing some stuff with some hardcore bands, all of this stuff. And then a couple of years ago, I had I like rededicated my life to Jesus, and I like started like trying to follow the Bible and the Lord as much as I could. And I just kind of started really not liking some of the artists I was working with because I couldn't agree with their lifestyles. I've never done a drug in my life. I don't drink. I'm sober. But I couldn't be with the artists who were like cheating on their wives behind their back. And, you know, because that happens. And it happens in Christian music as well. It happens in churches. It happens in politics. It happens wherever. But so for me, my moral compass kind of shifted a little bit. And then the doors kind of opened with some artists, especially like some Christian hip hop artists and stuff, who, by the way, if you want to talk about a genre that's completely underrated, it is Christian hip hop. Like these guys are doing millions of streams and they never get played on K-Love. All right. K-Love, come on. You know, like, so, cause K-Love sucks. And, so then I just started like kind of opening, like I was working with a metal band in the summer that was with Brian Head Welch. And they weren't Christian at all, but I really enjoyed them. But then that just kind of dissolved. And I'm working right now on a label with some label stuff with some up and coming pop artists that they're not Christian. And so I've just been I mean, dude, here's the deal. At the end of the day, I'm a whore. If you pay me, I'll be there. You know, like here's the deal. Don't mock Jesus and don't cheat on your wife and don't ask me to do cocaine and I'll probably work with you. I mean, that's where the gate is at this moment. Okay.
Yeah.
I
don't mock Jesus. Like I think, you know, he was an all right guy, you know.
It was all right. I was cool. No, it was funny. Because
I do have a problem with a lot of Christians, but
who doesn't?
Right, exactly.
I mean,
like, I think that's another thing too. People like they pick the one thing and be like, that's what all people are who believe in God or whatever.
Well,
you know?
well, dude, I mean, years ago, probably 15 years ago, I was married at the time. My wife and I are going to this church. Massive hypocrisy. Pastor wants to buy a new building for the church. We got to raise like $2 million. We raised all this money. That church to this day is still in the former building. Like we don't know what happened to the money.
Yeah.
The pastor was the biggest gossiper you would ever meet. He was the biggest manipulator, the biggest gaslighter. And I was done, dude. I'm like, screw this crap. Like I started you probably see it on like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. They're called deconstructionists. Like they're former people who are heavily involved in church and former Christians who are now just like raging against the hypocrisy of church. And I was one of those people for the longest time. And then for me, I was like, it was funny because I was talking to an artist and he's like, well, I'm an atheist. Do you have a problem with that? I'm like, no. And he was like, so what's the rapture? And I was like, well, that's when Jesus comes down and goes back up. And he takes his people with him. That's the most simplistic term possible. He goes, well, where do I go? And I go, well, you go to hell. And he goes, can I go there now? I'm like, we're kind of living here. We're kind of already living in hell. It's America. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just just like with politics, with like whatever, is that for me personally, I believe that Jesus is my savior and he died on the cross, but I don't judge anybody or any artist, or any person that if you don't agree with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love you if you're a Republican, if you're Trev and you're a secular humanist who's going to rot and burn in hell for all eternity.
Hell yeah.
And I think at times I get attacked a lot by Christians for doing stuff like this with you.
Right.
For propping up the Drowns, for having Rev on my show. Because it's like, well, you're doing X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 blah. But then I also get attacked by Christians because I have a Christian rapper on the show. Because there's a lot of Christians who don't believe rap music is Christian, which is absolutely like...
Are you sure they're just not racist?
Oh, they absolutely are because, I see their Facebook post.
Yeah.
And the problem, I'll say this about Christians. Christians today have wrapped themselves in this Christian nationalism where they believe that Jesus was an American. Yeah. And that, that Jesus didn't die for all of mankind. He died for white people in red states. And I'm like, he wasn't a Republican.
Right.
I'm just telling you, And I hate this whole Christian nationalist thing. Like the halftime show that Turning Point USA is doing, it's going to be aired on TBN. Do you know what TBN is?
No.
Trinity Broadcasting Network. It's the 24-hour Christian station that's worldwide that has nothing but preachers on there begging for money. You're going to have Kid Rock on there. On the channel that has Joel Osteen around the clock.
Yeah.
You're going to have Kid Rock. Talking about hoes and bitches.
Dude, I wish we lived in a simulation because this is awful. Like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So I'm like, okay, listen, Caleb, you called me and said that one of my artists didn't grieve Charlie Kirk enough on Instagram, and you're going to be a gatekeeper and a moral compass. But then we're not going to hold the worldwide Christian television channel that does fundraisers as well. They grift for money all the time. Having Kid Rock perform on your station, and we're not going to say anything about it because he fits us politically.
Yeah.
I think that is
how do you navigate through that? Being a Christian, how do you seriously? And I ask this because and I know I know a lot of people who are Christians that are great people and they don't align with that kind of stuff. But I remember I've met I've met gay Christians, and I'm like, everything they tell you is wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just, how do you navigate through all this stuff and still hold faith? Because my problem is this: I don't have faith in fucking humans. How can I have faith in something I can't fucking tangibly see? You know what I mean?
I will tell you, when I left the church back in the day and I was done, dude, I shook my fist at the sky. I burned my Bible. I was done. And I was one of these people who just believed that there was something out there, but it was a God. He didn't really care, because what happens is a lot of times when you grow up, especially when you grow up in church, is it's like, well, God loves you as you are, but follow these 27 rules if you want God to love you. And it gets exhausting because you're spinning your plates. You're just like spinning plates like this. And it's like, if you look at that woman's butt, you made Jesus cry. And it's like, I'm going to look at her butt. Like, I'm screwed. Like, this is what they do, right?
Right.
So to answer your question, when I walked away from when I walked away from God, when I walked away from what I knew to be true, it had nothing to do with God. It had everything to do with what was being done in God's name. And so what I was doing was I was taking a man hurt and I was blaming God for that. And so my prayer these days, my public and silent prayer is that I hope that you see Jesus in spite of me, because when you watch me, I'm a flawed human being. I am somebody who's going to not be the best person at times. I'm somebody who's going to probably lose my temper. I'm going to probably say the wrong thing at the wrong time. And I hope that in spite of all that, you can see a person who is imperfect, in need of a perfect savior. And so it's like, I've been hurt by church just as much as anybody. I have I have had people question my salvation in Jesus because I didn't support Donald Trump.
Right.
I have lost friends who were quote unquote pillars of the Christian faith, turn their back on me because I didn't support Donald Trump. One of my good friends, Lecrae, he's a Grammy winner, millions and millions in streams, black dude, rapper. In 2015, when all the stuff was going on with Michael Brown and the race stuff and everything, he posted a tweet in support of Black Lives Matter. A black dude in support of Black Lives Matter. The Christian music industry, the Christian industrial complex turned their back on him. Pastors were having sermons about how he's a wolf in sheep's clothing because he did not go down the political road. And I want to just say right now to you, or you say, how do you keep your faith? You have to realize that God is in none of that. This is all just man. This is this Christian nationalist crap. And it took him years, and he fought back. He was fighting back with everybody. He did not concede. He did not do anything. You have to realize that people, I mean, they've been doing it since the beginning of time. All different religions abuse people and destroy people in the name of God. You know? And you kind of have to find, like, you got to give grace to people. Like I said, I'm a flawed person. I hope that you see Jesus in spite of me. But at the end of the day, you also have to realize that what a man did in God's name is not actually what God did. And I know so many people who are like, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust the church because I went to this church or I saw this pastor do this and it wasn't like, I'm done. And all I can say to that is I'm sorry, because I've been there. Like, I carried that burden as well. Now, I'm somebody who, you know who Joel Osteen is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why
he's like the Tony Robbins of churches, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
I don't know why somebody like him is tax deductible. That is not the church. The reason why why it was a free tax deduction for churches is because you're supposed to give them money so they can go help the community. Okay. When you're bringing in $75 million every quarter in donations, you better be doing a lot to help the community, and you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's where I lose a lot of my brethrens on the Christian side, because it's like, you're calling the tax to churches. I'm like, I think when a church makes so much money every year, they need to start paying taxes. The church that's got 30 people in Shelbyville, Tennessee, does not deserve to pay taxes. They don't have enough money coming in. But if you're freaking Joel Osteen, you pay taxes because you're making more money probably than the Houston Astros are.
Yeah.
You know?
But yet people want to complain about Snap, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, fuck, man.
You know, and the church,
insane. It drives me insane.
When the church that I go to in Franklin, Tennessee, it's about 400 people.
What do you know? Mega church? Is that like a mega church?
400 people?
Yeah.
No, that's like 200 people. We have two services, like 200 people per service.
Oh, okay.
That ain't a mega church. Now, we got mega churches in Nashville. You know we do.
Yeah.
But when the whole SNAP benefits thing happened, like, I texted my pastor and I was like, what are we going to do? And he came back with a plan, you know, and it was like, okay, like, we will be the hands and feet. We're not going to just sit here and tell you to piss off and go get a job and all this stuff. Because I think that so many people in so many churches, what my problem these days is with, now you got me going, dude. What my problem with Republicans and Christians, and I'm putting them a lot together because that line is very blurred. They just come across as cruel. You know, if you're a mom, a single mom with 3 kids, they tell you to suck it up if you lose your benefits. That child who gets ripped away from her mom because of ICE or whatever, their answer is she shouldn't have been here. But then you're going to tell me how you're pro-life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you're going to talk to me about how, how gay people shouldn't get married because it ruins the sanctity of marriage, while the person you're supported has cheated on every one of his wives and has been married 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to talk to me about the sanctity of marriage.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's always been what my experience was with a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And there was when I was in high school, I went to a youth group, and that was, for me, that was different. It wasn't like they were not that kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They weren't like the white nationalist Christians, you know what I mean? So, and they saw good in me. I was a bad kid.
Right.
They saw good in me, and that kind of stuck with me. You know what I mean? Like that always stuck with me, and it made me strive to be a better person. But I walked away from it because I just couldn't fucking be on board with religion, and I had, some problems that happened, and and I'm just
of course.
it's not. It's like this. I can't be with that anymore. And I don't even know if I really believed. Mm-hmm. I think I just and this this is one of those things where we're kind of talking about with someone with 3 million followers saying no one wants to date me kind of thing. I think I kind of I liked that these people saw the good in me, and they didn't see just this white trash kid,
Right.
So that's something, And
I think that I think for me, most people have never had an experience with God, but they've had an experience with people using God's name.
Mm-hmm. No, I think you're right.
And it's never been good. It's never been good, and I mean, it's like people, I don't want to go to church. They're all full of hypocrites. And you go, yeah, but we have room for one more.
Yeah.
Because we're all hypocrites.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Am I the perfect dad all the time with my kids? No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I get short with them at times. I might be distracted with when I'm with them. Does that mean I'm a bad dad? No, it means I'm just a human being. And I think that, not every interview you do, you're on, you got stuff going on in your life and you don't act the best or have the best interview. But I think when we have so much hurt because of Christians or whatever, I think that we just do a blanket thing and we just say that all people are like that. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I've gotten emails from Christians who want to know why I don't talk more about God in the Music Business Newsletter or the Mattrix Minute. And it's I'm not a Christian music business strategist. I'm a music business strategist who's a Christian, who's a follower of Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Because if I was a Christian music business strategist, then every day would be about, well, this worship artist from Kansas City said this. No, I don't we did an interview. We've been talking for over an hour. I'm not trying to cram my faith down you.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that, we so much of you'll see an Instagram and you'll see a woman and her bio will be Jesus is my savior, John 3:16. And then it's every picture's her out partying and she's got pictures of her butt on her page. And I'm that's a bio, and so I try not, I'm not ashamed of my faith. I don't keep it secret, but also I would rather me than you thinking I'm some title. Yeah. And that's how I've been able to float with the punk bands who are the agnostic. And then they go, well, I'm an agnostic because they're waiting for my reaction. And I go, awesome. I was too at one point. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right on. So there's the faith segment of the show with Trev and Matt.
I think we do need to have a show. We got to talk about this later. I think, anyway, what was the thing you were uploading?
Okay. So I have been asked for years, why do you hate Trev? I mean, we all hate Trev, but why are you so public?
I mean, I hate Trev.
I hate Trev. We all hate Trev. You should make shirts that say I hate Trev and sell them. I'd buy one. So for backstory, clip this. You can do this whole segment here. I initially discovered the Struggling Artist podcast because of Spotify. I loved your voice. I thought you have such a great personality. I love your passion for these young artists. And I reached out and sent you a DM, and I'm like, dude, I love your show. Then we decided we were going to collab. You were on my channel. I was on yours. We had a great time. And I truly thought we were like besties.
I thought so.
And I remember this day. It was a cold morning. Dramatic music, please. It was a cold morning in February. Unseasonably cold in Nashville. It was like 21 degrees. Coffee was brewing in the pot. And I saw that you had released an episode with our dear friend, Rev Peters from the Drowns. I'm a huge Drowns fan. They came to Nashville. I fed them hot chicken.
You did.
Okay.
You go to Prince's?
We went to church. No, we went to Prince's. And,
yeah.
And Jake had like the super hot chicken sandwich.
Did he eat the bread? That that when the chicken sits on that bread? Yeah. Did he eat the bread?
He was sweating. It was so hot.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I'm listening to this interview, and you're conducting a great interview because you're a gentleman and a professional. And then this happened. And once again, I didn't ask for this war.
Oh boy. What do we got?
But I have clipped this and I have sent this to my lawyer.
So we can't get into too much, but you have a couple singles that are out now. We can talk about them.
Yeah, we can talk about whatever you want. Yeah, if I can't answer something, I won't answer. But I mean, it's you and me. Nobody's listening, right? We're just having a casual conversation.
Matt Ricks might be listening to see what he can get a dig on me on. But I like Matt a lot, though. Matt a lot.
Oh, he's the best. He's a really great guy.
Yeah, it was just funny when I listened to or watched that episode and listened to it, and I was like, man, he's taking some digs at me.
Oh, it's because he's a huge fan, though. That's why.
No, I know. He's a sweetheart, man. He's a sweetheart.
He's about to be. Here's an exclusive for you. He's about to be really bummed because we're about to announce the rest of our U.S. tour dates. Like, we announced the West Coast, and we're gonna do some more. And I don't think we're coming to Nashville, so he's gonna be fucking bummed.
Well, he could stay on my couch if he wasn't such an asshole.
We're definitely coming to Boston. So.
Oh man, nah, he's a good guy. And you know what? Like, he had just reached out. He out of the blue. I saw when you were on there because you posted the clip the first time, and I watched it, the whole thing, and I was like, this guy's like legit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just got it. And,
you sound good.
One day I randomly just got a message from him, and he was just like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, I like what you're doing and this and that. And I was like, thanks. And then I was like, is this the guy? And I clicked on his thing, and I saw I was like, this is the guy. So, I reached back out. I said, listen, man, I like what you're doing too. Like, you're way more professional than my fucking scruffy ass.
The big tree of life.
What was wrong with that?
You called me an a-hole. That's slander.
No, come on.
Hey, that's shots fired right there.
On my couch. You could sleep on my couch. I said you're a sweetheart. I said you are professional.
Rev had to defend me from my best friend.
And all you could think of, all that you focused on was the a-hole. Come on.
I've had people over the years be like, okay, I don't even know who this is, but what happened? I sent them the clip, and they're like, I feel like I'm missing more. And I'm like, nope, I'm that petty.
That's so funny.
Dude, I heard that interview, and I heard that. I was like, what? And then I tried to download it, and I was like, I had to make a video with your album cover on it. I've been holding on to that for 2 years, Trev.
Yeah, I know. What episode was that? 200 what?
234.
234. So I just released episode 407.
So almost 200 episodes later, I've been carrying that water.
Oh man, that's awesome. That was awesome. It's funny. I meant everything I said.
That I'm an a-hole.
No, everything else. So I'm gonna ask you something because you said it earlier. Like you don't. I mean, you seem pretty consistent with dropping stuff now.
Yeah.
But like, how do you navigate? Like, so because like with me, We just missed our first week drop, like a weekly drop, because I was sick. I was really, really sick for a few weeks there, and it was my first. It was the first time I'd missed something since it was like the fall of 2020.
Wow.
And like and that was because like I almost fucking ended my life. I was not doing well in 2020, and like,
Right.
you know,
Who was? Yeah. But like
so. Do you see a difference in like your views and stuff with when you keep a consistent schedule, or?
Dude, I'm going to tell you, the answer is yes and no. Because when I release something, you know, because like now at time of recording, starting next week, we're back to 5 days a week again and everything like that. And then we'll release a newsletter in the morning, and we'll release a clip, about a 4 or 5 minute clip of an episode at 5 o'clock at night. So, and then we got shorts going throughout the day. I have done that, and I have seen episodes just bottom out. We're talking 50 plays in a week. And so you're like, oh, well, maybe we're posting too much. But then also then the next day you'll post something. I remember, dude, on Christmas Eve, I had a video and it popped off, and it was like a 20-minute video, and I got like 800 views on Christmas Eve. I mean, I'm sitting at dinner with the family, and my phone's just popping with all these comments. I don't know what the secret is to the algorithm. I think you have to be consistent. The algorithm has to know whether you're releasing once a month or once a day or multiple times a day. You have, whatever it is, you have to be consistent at it. So we have realized that for us, we're kind of trying to do the Amazon model, not the like Chanel model. Like, we don't want it to be like rare and exclusive. We're just going to like as much as available for a cheap price. Like that, we're Walmart here. You know, we're not the Coach store. We're Walmart. So let's just get as much content out there. And truly, at the end of the day, I mean, I have 3,000 followers, 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I get my good videos are 500 views. Like, that is outstanding. So what does that tell you? The algorithm's not pushing it out to all 3,000 people.
Right.
So I've had people try to criticize me for my views. I've had people beat themselves up about their views. And I say, listen, at the end of the day, all you can do is deliver the content and hope that the algorithm gods push it out there. And if they don't, you can't look at it as a failure, because, you want to beat the algorithm. You want to figure out the algorithm. You want to do all that, of course. But at the end of the day, what can you do if the machine doesn't push you out? Now, the difference is with the Mattrix Minute, the audio series that's on Spotify and Apple Music, not Bandcamp. We already discussed that. I ain't that dude.
I'm putting an audiobook on Bandcamp, by the way.
Are you really?
Yeah. We'll talk about that, though. Keep going. Keep going.
The algorithm on Spotify loves me for the Mattrix Minute.
Is it because, like, the Mattrix Minute is, like, they're, like, shorter?
90 seconds, yeah.
Yeah.
So I get emails or messages from people telling me that they discovered me because I came up next on their playlist ended on Spotify, and then all of a sudden they're hearing this guy talk about the music industry. Which I wish I could get that same love from YouTube. Yeah. And I don't. Now, TikTok, we do shorts on TikTok. They do really well. Like, really well. But then Instagram does nothing for us. Instagram's like 200. But see, for me, like my personal account, like my Matthew Ricks account, I post pictures of like me with the kids. I post interview clips. I post industry stuff. The algorithm has no clue what to do with me. So they're just like, we're not even going to try. We just stop. Stop. I understand what I should have done is break everything up in its own little Instagram page, but I'm lazy. You know?
Dude, that's how I am. Like, I have I took my personal Instagram and I made it like the Record Club one, but I didn't realize it was linked to like my Facebook. So whenever I do like a Record Club post, it goes to my Facebook, you know?
Right.
So I don't care. Like, I fucking hate it. I hate that and I think for me, like when I've decided like I need to be consistent with weekly drops, and then I have, we do our weekly Monday drop, which is the Struggling Artist podcast, and then given whatever week it is in the month, You're gonna get a Struggling the Artist turntable. You're gonna get the record club recap. You're gonna get the underground noise, and if I feel like we need to do a mental health episode, we will. Which is probably coming up on one because everything's fucking on fire in the world, right? So, and I think people need to like an outlet to like kind of talk about that. So, but for me, I think staying consistent has gotten the community that I wanted to be where it is.
Right.
But like as far as like views and shit, I don't get any of that. Like it's like it's the I don't know. There was a time I was trying to when I went to video, because I think you were the one that was like, you got to do video. Mm-hmm. And I started doing video in beginning of 2025, and I was trying to do like, I was programming my TikTok to have like 6 clips a day or 4 clips a day, and like. I'm like, I fucking don't have the time for this, dude. It's just me, I don't have a team. I don't have the Mattrix team, man. They made,
They're
so
great. No, no. I mean, dude, like, and that's the one thing, like going back to like the newsletter is, as an artist, you got to be doing all that stuff. But you also do understand that it's a full-time job. Mm. If you're going to go and post 6 clips a day, 3 videos a day on YouTube, post on Instagram, curate and create those posts, this is a full-time job.
Yeah.
And so I think what happens is that what a lot of times is everybody looks at how much it is, and then they just decide, I'm not doing anything. I'm just not going to I'm going to do 1 a week on TikTok or whatever. Now, there are programs out there, Riverside's one of them, that they'll break your episode up into shorts and stuff like that. So they do make it easier for you.
I can't wait to see what they did with this.
Oh, it's going to be, dude, we're going to break the algorithm. Like, it's going to be like, in one 30-second clip, it's going to be like talking about ice, Jesus, the drowns.
And my mother.
And your mother. All in one 30-second clip, Have you ever no, because I think you're better than this, than me. I will have these interviews lined up, and then I'll just cancel everything because I'm like, I just don't feel it this week. Like, I just don't want to do it. You ever done that before?
I've had to cancel, like, during, like, when I was being, sick for the last few weeks or whatever. But
no, I'm just talking about it's just a typical day in, like, October, and you're like, I don't want to do interviews today.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that, no. If I did it once, Matt, I would do it every single time.
My team is just like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't want to do them today. I don't feel energetic. I don't feel entertaining. Now, like, there's a band on Fat Wreck, the Dowlheads, they're 2 sisters and a brother, play punk. Great kids. I was supposed to interview them at 3 p.m. Nashville time, the day that Charlie Kirk got murdered.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I don't know where the interview is going to go. So we're going to pause and not do the interview today. Cause I don't want it to be insensitive if in a day, if something changed, because, there's a lot of information going around.
Right.
I'm still waiting to reschedule. I had my moment and I lost it. And I'm still waiting 6 months later to reschedule that interview.
Yeah. So I know there was one I was like, I think it was like right after the election. And I was like, we just got to pause. And I rescheduled with that person. I was like, I'm being honest with you. Like, I'm not in a good headspace right now with all this. Like, I once again, humanity has failed me. And like, they my hope for them has in the shitter. I just don't think we should do it right now. And they agreed. They agreed with that. So, I did have one. I had an interview with I thought when I walked into this whole podcasting thing, I was like, oh, musicians will always have gear. They'll have microphones. They'll have headphones. A lot of them don't. And I had one and like, they were sharing AirPods, right? Yeah, and like so when one of them turned their head, the other one who was talking, like you couldn't hear them. And I tried to fix it. I used every possible resource Riverside had to fix this, and it didn't work. And I was like, I'm really sorry, but I can't drop this. Like I can't hear you. And I was like, we'll do one in person. Just give me some time. And like, when I reached back out, like I didn't hear back, and maybe they're just busy too. You know what I mean? Like, but like, yeah, I was bummed about that one though, because like I really liked them and I liked their music and they had a lot of good things to say, but the not having like sharing the air. So whenever I send out, like I send like this PDF and it's like about the show, how we record and this and that, and I say like, you know, like I'd rather you not have anything, like, and just use your computer sound than to like, you know, like try to make something happen with, you know what I mean? So
I mean, the amount of interviews that I have trashed because you interview an artist. I there's one artist in particular. He had a gold album just 3 years ago. And he was doing the interview on his phone. And he kept so, you know, he's got his phone, right? The whole interview, you see him. Because he didn't put do not disturb on.
Yeah.
So the whole interview is like the phone is vibrating or and I'm just like, after like 15 minutes, I'm like, all right, well, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I got to trash this whole thing because it was just like, you know, or there's one artist who he's very, very, very portly, we'll say. And he had his AirPods in, but his face is so fat, the AirPods weren't picking it up. So he would turn his head and I would lose the audio for it.
So it's just like with having people share them. Yeah.
And I was like, and what sucks is when you don't realize in that moment, but you get through the whole thing and then you download it and you start to edit and you go, I just wasted an hour.
Yeah.
Is there, okay, you don't have to give me a name. Is there any artist you refuse to interview? Like, I will not interview this artist. I don't care. They've contacted me. They've blah, blah, blah. I'm not interviewing them.
So I don't know if it's that I refused, but if I just don't vibe with their stuff, you know what I mean? I won't do it. So like one of the best pieces of advice from Chris Chavez, who's, like I say, is up in Buffalo. He's one of my producers. And like, he's like, hey, you don't owe anybody a reply in an email. Because I always try to get back to everybody, you know, but like sometimes, and sometimes they slip under the radar and I just miss them because they, you know, like, and I don't get back and I wish I did, you know, or whatever. But like, yeah, like if I can't have someone on, I'm not going to have someone on to trash them.
Right.
You know, and I'm not going to be disingenuous. Right. So like, I just don't like reply to them and stuff like that. I did have one. I had someone who reached out to me and they asked to come on. This is a good story. And I said, sure. And like 20 minutes before we were, first off, I was like, yeah, here's the schedule. And they picked something like 4 months into the future. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. So whatever. It gets to be the day. And they reach out to me and then they go, how long is this going to be? And I was like, well, I told you in the email, like, this is how I ask for a request, you know, it's usually not that long. It's definitely not this long, by the way.
Right.
But I was like, you know, but like, I request like, hey, just like leave this open, you know, that way we don't, and then he's like, well, I just don't know if I'll have anything to say past this amount of time. Like, it was like 30 minutes or something. I'm like, all right. So he was nice when we like started talking, and then I hit record, and then he put on this like persona. And I was like, this is not what this show is, you know? And by the end, he finally started to come around, but I was just like, I was so not thrilled.
Right.
You know, but I put it out because they asked, and I was like, sure. And I'm like, everyone's going to know that this episode wasn't good, but I never got any bad responses about it. No one ever like, you know, so I was like, all right, so I guess I do my job pretty well.
I mean, dude, I've interviewed artists and pre-recording, they're great, having a good time. And then as soon as you start recording, they're just one-word answers or and then my favorite is the one who they come on and you're like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, you ready to go? Like, they don't want to have any pre-show talk or anything. They're just like, let's go.
Yeah.
I asked you because there's one artist in Nashville, and it's a woman, and my team has put her on my schedule and I've canceled it. I'm like, well, I'm not interviewing her. I won't follow this woman back on Instagram. I was at a showcase. She was performing and I got up and went home while she was performing. I have never talked to this woman before. Like, I don't have a history with her. There's just something about her that I absolutely detest. And I can't even put my finger on it. It's not like I'm like, oh, well, she's a raging racist or something. Like, it's just something about her. And no matter how many times she's reached out, or I've had friends kind of like come in on her behalf, like, you should interview her. She's great. She just got a deal. But I'm like, I will not. There's just something about her. And I'm like, she's blacklisted. And they're like, why? And I'm like, I don't know why, to be honest with you. Like, I just can't. She does not make my life better being on this earth. And I don't even know her.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I just don't like the cut of her jib.
I guess. Yeah. That's something.
I mean, I got to work this out with my therapist because I'm like, you know, like pounding my fist into the pillow, being so mad at her, you know. Actually, I don't think she's a good artist either. Like, I listen to her music and I'm like, yuck.
Well, I mean, and I think you would be able to tell if someone's being genuine or not too, right?
Yeah.
If like, you know, if the music isn't genuine, then why?
I mean, one day we're country. One day she released a song that was country. Then she released a song that had a rapper in it. And it's like, what? You're just throwing everything at the wall, hoping that something sticks.
Yeah.
And I just think you're fake. And I just think you suck as a human being.
Pop. That's like someone wants to be a pop star. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do everything and then whatever in the moment and hit, you know, like that's yeah. I think you can detect that stuff from working in the industry as long as you have.
Well, my buddy does podcasts as well. He's like, oh, she's a good friend of mine. And I'm like, well, you need better friends.
Oh boy.
All right. Should we end it at 2 hours?
Yeah. Should we release this like in part 1 or part 2, or you take a half and I take half?
I mean, dude, here's what I think. I think dude, there's going to be so many clips for this. And I think you keep this in the episode right now, like us workshopping this. Because I think this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like, I think you release the whole thing, or I release the whole thing, and I do an invite collab with you, or you do an invite collab with me on YouTube. However, that's how we can do this jointly. And then I would break it up into segments because who's going to watch our goofy selves for 2 hours besides both of our moms?
I don't even think my mom would watch that. No. We don't need to be planning this anymore. So,
and then, I mean, and if you want me to post it and invite you, you just send me the file, I'll do it. Or like with the invite, like YouTube stuff, or Instagram. If you want me to do it, send it to me. You know, I'll post. I'll do the invite collab.
Hold on, I'm gonna hit stop. We don't need to be. Hold on 1 second.